Support provided by the Chesapeake and Newport News with chef-centric farm-to-table dining. thechesapeake.org. Hi friends, Jay Sennett. Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Jay. As always, hope all of you are doing well. Thanks for watching the program. Today I'm going to prepare for you a delicious African soup, Nigerian pepper soup. And it's obviously, by the title, you would assume that there's some heat in this dish. Yes, there is. And the heat can vary. The ingredients used in pepper soup or African soup can vary from region to region in Africa, okay? And in Nigeria, even in Nigeria, region to region in Nigeria. But there are three core ingredients: calabash nutmeg, okay, and selim pepper or grains of selim, and alligator pepper or grains of paradise. Okay, those are the three core ingredients. But in some areas, if you're using seafood, they would use crayfish powder actually, and some red chili powder or various seasonings. But the three core seasonings: calabash nutmeg, selim pepper, and alligator pepper or grains of paradise. And the protein, it's more common over there with goat meat. I'm not using goat meat, I'm going to use chicken, but you don't have to use goat meat. You can make it with chicken, you can make it with fish. I would assume pork, right? You can try it any way you want. As far as vegetables, you can vary your vegetables. Today I'm going to put just some onions, some red and green bell pepper, some zucchini in here, and some potatoes. Now, to get the three core seasoning, you can buy the seeds, roast them, pan roast them, and then in a mortar and pestle just grind them up to a powder. But that's a lot of work. They really have, there are certain stores you can go online and order from some African stores the pepper soup mix. Okay, pepper soup mix, and a lot of them will give you the option on the heat value, right? How hot, spicy, or how mild you want these peppers or the seasoning to be, right? I got the packaged seasoning mix. Oh, and so fragrant, and I can smell that calabash nutmeg in there as well. Okay, so I'm gonna use the chicken, and what I did, I diced up some chicken breast, seasoned it with some of the pepper seasoning. It has some salt in it, but not much salt, so I added some salt and just let it just sit for a while. So we're going to go over here to the stove. I'm going to turn my burner on to get everything hot and ready. And so I'm going to cook the chicken, and then I'll add the vegetables. Cook those for a little while, and I'm going to add some diced tomatoes. I'm going to use vegetable broth and a little bit of chicken broth, okay, in here as well. I'm going to put some carrots in the dish, and some of this delicious pepper soup seasoning, which I can't stop smelling it. You know, it's just really, really delicious. And I've made this before, and the thing that you really have to be careful with, again, if you decide that you want to order the packaged pepper soup seasoning, be careful and how hot you want that spice, because it can get so hot it'll burn the pink off your tongue, right, with these peppers. So just be careful of that. All right, so I have some oil in here, a little bit of olive oil, okay. Cook the chicken a little bit, because once we get everything already, you know, made with the broth and the vegetables and everything, then we're going to put the lid on it and just let it cook on a medium-low heat for about half an hour. All right. No, you're not going to sit here with me for half an hour. The magic of editing is going to come back and make a bowl of this delicious pepper soup. I became interested in traditional African cuisine through my family on my mother's side. My grandmother and my mother have roots in Western Africa, okay, specifically Nigeria and Sierra Leone. And this soup is very, very traditional. It's a delicacy in Nigeria, right? And on my father's side, he's from Northern Africa. Well, he has Northern African descent, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. So I've always been interested in the traditional spices from those regions. And over the years, a lot of my cooking has gone in that direction, right? I also love some of the Middle Eastern cuisine too. That's what maybe some of you seen me do a video on mahamara, right? Which is, a delicious spread. Some call it a salad dressing. Can be served as an appetizer or stand on its own dish with some hummus or some sort of bread or crackers. Wow. And this chicken, having just marinating in this seasoning, just smells fantastic. Wow. I mean, it's really delicious. Okay, so what I'm going to add, I wanted to get the chicken pieces started, right? I'm going to add the onion and the bell peppers, okay? I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. Yes, sir. All right. Yes, yes, yes. And grab some stuff out of here. To dice up some garlic. There's some garlic in here too. These diced up cloves. Okay, so we have the chicken, we have the onions, and red and green bell pepper, okay, and some garlic, minced up garlic, and keep in mind the chicken was marinating in that seasoning. I'm going to add some carrots, minced up carrots in here as well. Okay, carrots happening in there now. Let this just cook just for a few minutes like this. And again, this seasoning, if you want to do it, if you want to try to find the pepper seeds, selim pepper seeds, and the alligator pepper seeds, or grains of paradise, or grains of selim, the calabash nutmeg seeds, you roast them a little bit and then you grind them up to form a powder. But that's a lot of work because they're really, really good packaged. All right, packaged pepper soup seasoning. Just look online, so for some of the African distributors, you get it through Amazon, and they make a really good packaged pepper soup mix. I first became familiar with pepper soup and some of the more traditional African spices. There used to be a jazz club in Washington, D.C. called Twins. And Twins was owned and operated by twin Ethiopian sisters. And I played there a couple of times, and that was the first time I'd ever eaten goat meat. Goat meat, and it was so spicy. Wow! Can you give me something else? You have chicken. We can give you some chicken, Mr. J. He said, okay. And they served me Burberry chicken. Burberry chicken. You've seen me make Burberry chicken because I found out about this seasoning that's pretty much indigenous to Ethiopia. And I was like, oh man. And I was hooked from that point on with some of these traditional African spices and African seasonings. But you got to look for them to find them. They're available. And this pepper soup, oh. Okay, so we're almost ready to add something else. All right, I'm going to add a pinch more salt in here. All right, that's good there. Now, I'm going to add some diced up canned tomatoes. All right. 28-ounce can, but it's got 2 smaller cans. All right. And I'm going to add some, about 32 ounces of some vegetable broth, organic vegetable broth. Now you can use all vegetable broth if you would like. I mix it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to add some chicken broth. Some chicken broth there. Okay, and I'm going to add some water. Just a little bit of water, a couple of cups of water. And I'm going to add just a little bit more chicken broth. That wasn't a whole container I put in there before. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, now, okay, the star, oops, well, you know what I didn't put in there? I forgot the zucchini, ladies and gentlemen, but you know what? I'll go in. The zucchini will be okay. All right, I have pans here. And then we put the potatoes in as well. I diced up some mini red potatoes. Woo! But the star of the show is not in here yet. The star of the show is right here. So I have about 3-4 tablespoons of this pepper soup seasoning, and it's a medium heat on this, okay? A medium heat, and you want to mix this in well, okay? Mix this in well. Okay. So these zucchinis will cook through the boiling process. All right, I'm going to add just a little bit of smoked paprika. Okay, about a tablespoon. I'm going to add a pinch of turmeric. And I want to add just a little bit of cumin, smoked cumin. All right. And remember, we're dealing with pepper soup, so we don't really have to add any more pepper. Okay? Make sure you get it all blended in well. And so now, what we'll do, we are going to put this on medium heat. Cover. Actually, I want to add all that broth in here. Maybe just a little bit more salt in here. I can feel it. Okay, just a little bit more salt. And for the heck of it, since it's pepper soup, black pepper feels a little left out. Okay. cover it up, medium heat, and let that cook for about 30 to 45 minutes. And then we come back and we're going to have our bowl of Nigerian pepper soup. So stay with us. We're going to take this time for the soup to cook, but it's only going to seem like a second through the magic of editing. Then you'll see my face in about another second. Actually, almost an hour will have gone by. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, whew, see? It only seemed like a second or two, but actually almost an hour had gone by. So let's come on over here to the stove and see what the soup is looking like. And it smells amazing in the house. Look at, get my bowl here, the ladle. Oh, look at that. My version of Nigerian pepper soup. I also added a couple of bay leaves in here. I didn't do that where you could see it, but I did. Oh, okay, so let's go over here, back to the counter. My version of Nigerian pepper soup, and this broth is absolutely delicious. Again, I bought the packaged pepper soup mix, and the three core ingredients, the calabash nutmeg, the selim peppers or grains of selim, and alligator pepper or grains of paradise, right? Those are the three main ingredients. But I also put some turmeric in there, a little bit of turmeric, some cumin, some smoked paprika to go along with this spice. And of course the broth, I use vegetable and chicken broth. Onions, garlic, red and green bell pepper, some zucchini in there, some diced tomatoes, some carrots. Did I say garlic? Yep, a couple of bay leaves. And the chicken, I had the chicken kind of marinating in this seasoning as well. And put it all together to get my version of Nigerian pepper soup or African soup. And this broth is just stunning. I mean, it really is. There's just the right amount of heat, at least for my taste. And again, if you buy the packaged pepper soup mix, they'll probably ask you how spicy you would like it, right? Because it can get really spicy. It's rich, it's earthy, rustic. There's a sweetness to it because of the calabash nutmeg, but there's some heat because of the peppers. And just so many different, interesting, unique flavor profiles in this soup. That's what's happening today on this edition of Cooking with Jay, Nigerian pepper soup. I'll go have my dinner, get some crackers out with this soup. Oh, and just have a great time eating this. Cooking with Jay, Sunday night, starting at 6 on the WHO Public Media Facebook page. And don't forget my Send It In Session Jazz Show, WHRV-FM 89.5, Monday through Thursday nights from 9 until 1, Saturday mornings 1 until 5, Sunday afternoons from 1 until 5. And I also host the Soulful R&B Chronicles, Friday nights from 7 until 8. But this show, all about the cooking. It's Cooking with Jay. That's what's happening on this show, cooking. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments about anything you see me create in this show, drop me an email, j.sennett, jae.sinnett@whrv.org. Would always love to know what you're cooking. Love to know what you think of the show. And I want to thank the Chesapeake for underwriting Cooking with Jay. Thank you so much for your support, your kind, generous support. And thank you all for watching the program. Until the next edition, be safe, friends. We'll see you then.
Support provided by the Chesapeake in Newport News, catering to the palate of every single resident. More at thechesapeake.org.